Now, the South African Banking Association's Transformation into Banking report is detailing the progress banks have made so far. The report shows that the banking sector continues to transform in several areas, but the association has called on government and labour unions for failing to take what it calls a rational approach on many of the remaining problems. To unpack this further, the Banking Association's Kulegani Mate. Mr. Mate, good afternoon, and thank you very much for your time. I saw a report about your report saying that the sense is that you believe transformation and BE is broken in South Africa right now. Is that a correct assessment overall?
Good afternoon, Braden, and the viewers of eNCA. So the report you saw was obviously we cannot control what newspaper people put as a headline. But if you read our report that we put out last week, it shows how the banking industry is doing, how it is progressing towards transformation. It highlights where we've done well, and it also highlights where we think there are still differences.
So the situation of the headline will suggest that things are not working out because they are broken. Are they broken, transformation-wise? What kind of progress are you making in the banking industry?
Well, what we are saying in the report is that clearly what you're seeing playing out in society, not just in banking, is a frustration across the board on a number of areas where perhaps as a country and as a nation we haven't made sufficient progress. So taken together, that then makes it difficult to have rational conversations about areas where indeed there may need to be some difficulty. So I'll give you an example. I mean, the fact that we still have high levels of unemployment, challenges that you find in higher education, issues of access to land and so on, which play out in society every day. That taken together suggests that obviously people are frustrated. Now, when it comes to transformation, yes, indeed, we are making progress. The report shows that on many of the indicators that we track, some good progress has been made. We're not where we would like to be, but we certainly are making progress. The movement is in the right direction. What we're calling for is a rational approach in which we really analyze the challenges, what's holding us back in those areas where we're not sufficiently making progress, and then put in place mechanisms that propel us forward.
Okay, I mean, I guess many people would agree that you want sustainable change or transformation at all levels. But when you look at employment equity numbers that come out from the commissions, now and again, you see that corporate South Africa broadly, the numbers are not great. How's the banking sector doing? Are we seeing more and more black people moving up into senior management levels, women, people with disabilities? What's the picture like, very briefly, in the banking sector when it comes to EE?
So there are targets that are set for EE in the financial sector. We fall below the targets insofar as it relates to sort of top executive levels. But this report shows that for the first time in the sort of middle management category, you have black people, Africans, outnumbering white people, which suggests that progress is being made and that we have a strong pipeline that should see us transforming the industry.
What about gender parity?
Similarly, we're not quite meeting the gender targets, but there too, we year on year we're making progress on a kind of.
What is the target in terms of women representativity in the banking sector for those middle management levels, senior management levels?
So the targets are broken down by categories. I'll give you an example, for instance, of the targets are set for board membership. In other words, those people who sit on boards in the banking industry, and then they are also broken down for kind of levels of staff. For those categories, the target is 50% for black people, and in terms of that, just to get to the numbers so I can give you the correct numbers, the target is 50%, and we're currently sitting at 44% black people. And in terms of black women representation in boards, the target is 25%. We're currently sitting on 21%. But the 21% must be viewed against where we were 3 years ago, where it was 15%. It increased to 18% last year and then 21% this year.
Why is it so slow? Mr. Mate, what's the view of the banking sectors on this? Why is transformation proving to be so slow? If you look at the JSE, the top listed entities and the banks make a sizable chunk of that. All the banks are listed, I think, on the JSE. It's predominantly male-dominated and predominantly white male-dominated. Why do you think, as an industry, we're making such slow progress?
So I would say, I obviously can't speak for the rest of the JSE, but in the banking industry, we really have made some progress. Not enough, but we're starting to see, banks that are black-led and banks that are women-led. So we're seeing progress there. But we would like to see, obviously, much more. What does encourage us, though, is that the pipeline is quite strong, as I've said, middle management level, very, very strong. So this bodes well for transformation going forward.
What should happen to fast track and really build a solid pipeline that will lead to sustainable change in terms of leadership?
So I think on the whole, not just on the issues of employment equity, but on the whole, what we're advocating in this report, in addition to the numbers which speak for themselves, is that we should commit to growing this economy, because when the economy is growing, it creates opportunities, obviously, for increasing employment on the one hand, but also increasing opportunities in various other ways. The fact that we have an economy that's been underperforming for well over a decade creates problems for transformation, because in many instances, headcounts have been shrinking, and that creates problems for how you advance transformation in an environment where everything is shrinking. So yes, we would like to move faster, and we think that one way of doing so is really to commit as a country to reforms that will see this economy grow so that we can create opportunities for further transformation.
Thank you very much for your views. On the midday view, Kollegani Mate from the Banking Association of South Africa. It's, as they say, the struggle continues.